I don't know about you guys, but I have my best ideas in the shower. It's a great place to think. And one of the things I think about a lot is the tools that we use to create and to the tools that we use to make stuff. This goes back to my childhood where I had loads of crazy ideas about stories for time travel and spaceships and robots and all that. And I wanted to get those stories out of my head and, onto paper as quickly as possible. And I therefore became the only year two who was typing up their homework assignments and handing them in. I've used computers to solve problems basically all my life. And when I decided to go to art school, it was only natural that I would pick graphic design, where I get to, move pixels around a screen all day. So I thought. The thorn on my side was this thing we had to do called the workbook. The workbook was like a scrapbook full of your research, your ideas. It was basically a way for them to see how you arrived at the solution. And it was a really useful exercise, like preparing this, because you'd be able to look back and retrace your steps, which is really important to the creative process. But the process of creating the workbook kind of took me back to primary school. It was all Pritt sticks and scissors and gluing things in, and I'd solved a lot of these problems in primary school before. So surely I'd be able to solve it at a university level, right? So I decided to go paperless and organize all of my stuff in the cloud. I got an iPad, I got a bunch of reading apps, a bunch of writing apps, apps for drawing, and I thought it was going to be amazing. I was going to have my whole creative projects organized automatically and not have to worry about it. The reality of it was I had my stuff spread in about 8 or 9 different places. They were all organized differently or not organized at all. I was losing stuff, forgetting that I had stuff, and it was just a complete shambles. Like technology was actually causing problems rather than solving them. And my classmates, they weren't thinking about this. They were just, sitting down, doing the work, getting it done. But I was too stubborn to go back to the whole process of cutting things out and gluing it into a book. So after a very long shower, I wondered, how hard can it be to make an app to solve this? As it turns out, actually making an app is quite hard. Doing something like that and, hedging my whole degree on it was a bit of a risky bet. But I can tell you now that it was totally worth it. And if there's something you're scared to do because you don't know how to do it, dive in. Jump into the deep end and you'll learn to swim on the way. So, basically, the idea sort of stagnated for a little while after university, and then I went to a startup weekend up here in Wellington, and a few other people got excited about it as well. So it was reborn as Twingle, and we spent the last few months building a very basic prototype. It lets you clip stuff from the internet, useful bits of information, and it automatically sorts it for you into a diary of sorts. You can also connect related ideas together, like the way web pages link together or Wikipedia. So you're sort of building up this kind of external brain. And all of these things that you're saving or writing or connecting, they appear on the web page where you got them. So your quotes become highlights, your connections become links, and you can actually follow those trails again. So you're leaving your own trails across the web. Now, taking a peek under the hood, this is what Twingle's brain kind of looks like. It's a visualization of just the database that we're using. But what it represents is all those little clusters where ideas that I've been working on have sort of started clumping together over time, very much like how the brain works. And one of the surprising things we learned is that when like-minded people or people who are working on similar projects are both using Twingle, their Twingle minds actually begin to pull closer together, to merge. And that led to the big idea, which is, how cool would it be if by organizing, just by organizing your stuff, organizing your creative projects, you were actually connected with other people all over the world who are working on the same thing or a similar thing? How cool would it, what kind of exciting new collaborations would be possible if you knew that someone on the opposite side of the world was working on the same thing as you? And, you know, you need collaboration. We wouldn't have gotten anywhere near this far without the hard work of my co-founders, Matt and Greg, and the mentorship of Link, who's been like our Obi-Wan Kenobi. The biggest thing that I've learned while working on Twingle at the beginning of this journey is that you need to let your idea evolve. When you release it out into the wild, it will take on a life of its own. And that's the really scary thing, is to let go of your idea and let it blossom. So at Twingle, we believe that computers are really good for doing the mundane stuff, the grunt work, organization, sorting, and humans are really, really good at creativity, collaboration, making awesome new stuff. What I think about in the shower is how to bridge that gap. Thank you.